Hello, succeeders! It's Stacy Barlow Hill, your leadership and lifestyle coach, helping you to become the best version of yourself and lead successfully. I am back today, and we are going to talk about how to be at peace when life seems chaotic. On my last episode, we talked about three questions that every entrepreneur needs to ask after they're going through the difficult times. And I kind of gave you some background about where I've been and what I've been going through the last few months. You can go back and catch that episode if you didn't see that one. But today we're going to actually talk about when you are going through. So, when things are just seeming to be unbearable, they're crazy, you have no idea where to start or how to process it or how to get through. We're just going to go through just a few things that you can do to find some peace when you are going through these chaotic times. And this is whether it be chaotic in your personal life, in your business life, it all, as an entrepreneur, your business and your personal life seem to kind of like intertwine. So, usually, if you're going through something on one side of something, then it's going to trickle through to the other side. So, the first thing I want to say of how to be at peace when life seems chaotic is to be still. And that seems hard, right? Because your mind is just anxious, it's wandering, you feel like you can't turn it off. But being still, if you make time to be able to hear through the clutter, um you can't hear, right, if you're not still. So you can't figure out where to go if you can't hear the directions clearly. So when you are still, your intuition kicks in, you can hear God's voice clearly, you start to hear your own voice clearly. But when you're not still, you can't hear that, and that's hard when you're in a season of tribulation, and when things are hectic and things like that. But if you make the time to be still, get up early, stay up late, whatever you need to do, and it doesn't have to be long. Meditation can be like 15 minutes, but it's being intentional about carving out that time to do that. So find time to be still, because that's when most of your answers will come. If you are someone who likes to journal, journaling can be wonderful. It's a great way. It's a brain dump to get those thoughts out of your mind. Sometimes you may write things that you don't even expect to write because it's just coming out of you. So find time to be still. During that time, pray, think, meditate, be grateful. But find that time and be intentional about setting the time, because if you just keep saying, I'm going to be still, then it's never going to happen. So you have to be intentional. Put it on your calendar and make it an appointment like you would for anything else. So the next one, now that you're being still, is going to be to actually listen to what is being said and not what you want to hear. There's a distinct difference. Listening to what is actually being said. What is God really trying to tell you? And just because it may not be something that you want to do doesn't mean it's not what you're supposed to do, right? So listen to what's being said. If you already have your mind made up about what the outcome or the next step is going to be, then you missed the entire purpose of being still. Being still is not for you to get confirmation on what it is that you already have your mind made up to do. Being still is to actually listen, listening to the voice of God, listening to your higher self, listening to your intuition, and being able to make decisions based off of that. When you hear the answers, it may not, in fact, be what you want it to be. That's happened to me many, many times. There's many things in life that I've felt led to do and felt called to do that I necessarily didn't want to do or think that I could do. But God's never going to give you a direction on something and then leave you out to dry. He's going to give you the path to get there. So the next one, number three, is releasing yourself from the outcome. Know that whatever the outcome is, it's for your highest and your greatest good. So find the lesson if you're not happy and use it to divide and conquer the next round. So releasing yourself from the outcome, right? So that's going back to the first two that we talked about, not having your own um, expectations of what that direction is going to be. You may have a way that you want it to go, but God may say not so. So being able to release yourself from what the outcome and saying that I trust you, I'm going to follow, and if that's the way you say to go, that's the way that I'm going to go. Number four is letting go of the control. You're not in control anyways. So you have to release that false sense of it. Let go and listen. These all kind of just piggyback on each other. Um, you're never in control, right? You're in control of your actions and what you do, but your destiny is already created for you. And it's up to you to listen and to be guided and to fulfill it and to do and work out and live the plans and purposes that God has for your life. So let go of that false sense of control and allow Him to lead and allow yourself to listen to what those directions are. Number 5, find what makes you happy again. Begin to do the little things that you once did that makes you happy. Take a walk, read a book, listen to music. My personal favorite, drinking a milkshake in the middle of the day by myself. Like, those are things that make me happy. They don't cost anything, or very little. But take those precious moments and be absolutely selfish and enjoy yourself. Because a lot of times when we get chaotic, especially as women and especially as entrepreneurs, a lot of times it's because we forgot about ourselves. We have put so much into our company, we put so much into our families, we put so much into pouring to others. Entrepreneurs just have that spirit of always having to go and always having to innovate and always being on the move, right? So we don't take care of ourselves. And self care is so important, and that can absolutely get us out of the season of being chaotic, right? So for myself personally, the things that I just named are on the top of my list. Taking a walk, sometimes just getting fresh air, just breathing, getting in a different environment, can just kind of bring you back down and give you a sense of calm and peace. Reading, most entrepreneurs read. I love to read. Reading can kind of take your mind off of other things for a while and transport you into a different world for a little bit. Listening to music is good for the soul. Just put on your favorite music and jam out and dance like nobody's watching or dance like anybody is watching. I don't know, whatever works for you. But make a list. I have an entire list on my phone of just things that make me happy. And when I find myself, just getting anxious about something, sometimes I'll just go to that list and I'll pick something on there and it instantly changes my mood. So find what makes you happy again. Number 6 is be present. You can't enjoy the little moments if you're not present for them. So begin to notice nature. I talked on my last episode about listening to the birds and being able to hear them. And you can't hear birds if your mind is cluttered. So when you finally hear the chatter of birds, your mind has reached another level of calmness. So begin to notice that. Notice the trees. Notice the smiles of other people. Notice kind gestures from strangers. Notice smells and emotions. Just be present for it. When you're present, you are living in the moment, which means your mind is not boggled down. You're not being distracted by all the things that are going on when you are present, being fully present. Just noticing what's happening around you, listening actually to the words of songs and taking those in, praying and actually listening to every word or reading a devotional, whatever it is, being with your kids, watching them swing on the swing set. Being present is almost in meditation when you're being aware of your breath. It's awareness, right? And you can't be aware of your breath and have a whole lot of stuff going on at the same time. It's just impossible. If you're counting your breath and taking deep breaths, you can't really think about a whole lot of other things. So being present. Then the last thing I talked about this too is just being grateful. Being grateful always has a way of bringing you back to center. It's bringing you back to the center and putting things into perspective. So take the time to make note of what you're grateful for and spend some time and praise for it. Thank God for it. Be grateful for it. And it changes your whole atmosphere. When you are in a posture of praise, you cannot be sad, right? You can still maybe be worried about what's going on, but you can't really do both at the same time. When you're praising, you're not worrying about all of that. You're in a state of gratitude, and a state of gratitude begins to bring about change to everything else. So just to recap again, how to be at peace when life seems chaotic. You are to be still. You are to listen to what is being said, not to what you want to hear. You are to release yourself from the outcome. You are to let go of the control, that false sense of control. You are to find what makes you happy again. What makes you happy? You are to be present. Find the things that are going on. Be present in that moment and be grateful. Live in an atmosphere of gratitude and in praise. So I hope that those things will help you out today. I hope that you'll remember those next time you're going through. And then when you get out of that season, And then go back and listen to the other podcasts on the 3 questions that you need to ask after going through the difficult times. So I hope that you found something to take away from that today. Be on the lookout for my goal setting webinar that is going to be coming up here soon. So that will be coming up soon. I'll make sure I let you guys all know about that. I also have a group coaching mastermind that is going to be launched in January. So the next cohort for that is going to be January 11th, I believe. So it is only up to 8 people. You have to be accepted to get into it because I want to make sure that it's a group um, that are going to benefit from each other and that are really going to be able to grow. But mastermind groups are amazing. We're going to really work through, goal setting and personal development and growth and leadership and growing your business and holding yourself accountable and just really, really being that best person that you were created to be so that you can be of service and help others to grow and to grow your businesses and lead your life and reach your version of success. So that's going to come up. So if you're interested in that, go to liveleadsucceed.com and go to services and then click on the group coaching program. It'll take you to our teachable platform where you'll be able to learn more about that, but you'll need to submit a form and be approved for that group. So thank you so much. I hope you got some takeaways today, and I will see you next time. Until then, live, lead, and succeed.